Hello, welcome. I thought we'd have a go at one of those jobs not many people seem to like, including myself, and that is sorting the wiring out. I've sort of been putting it off a little bit, but I'm sort of waiting on a delivery as well. Got some connectors so I can connect a fiddle yard to the power, some switches for the points. These are just a centre and a bit more wiring. I also have this is what I use for my bus. It's just some copper tape. I actually got these from Wilko when they was closing down. They were selling them off very cheap and I picked a few of them up at the time. I have bought other makes of copper tape. You know, you just have to make sure it is actually copper, because there is some on sale on some of the sites that aren't really that conductive. So just be careful, you know, make sure it is a proper conductive tape. So the best one is the slug tape, because slugs really hate the copper and they won't go on it. And if it's I also ordered some boxes. So there's 6 boxes there. I'm only going to use one, and I'm just going to fit the switches onto this, and hopefully it's going to be big enough just to fit. It's going to fit 6 point switches. I'm not doing it DCC points, it's just an analog point system, using like a mimic board. So I bought 6 of these. They were quite cheap off Amazon, and I'm just going to fit the switches onto here. I'll show you how I'm going to make these as well, the mimic board. So I tend to scan this and then draw one out in PowerPoint, and then print it, stick it up and drill the hole. So because I like to see the layout on the actual board rather than just like some numbers. I'm also going to put a couple of switches on here for the lights, because I don't want all the lights in all the buildings, so I'm going to try and control some separately. So, and I also want to work out how to put lights in the main building so it can still be removed. The other building I actually have stuck down, so the lights in that are a permanent fixture. Anyway, let's make a start on getting the wiring started. So first of all, I'm going to have to repair some of this bus. So when I put the inspection pit in, I actually had to cut through the bus at that point, so I need to just put some jumper cables in here. Might be a bit hard to see on the video. I'll try and move the camera when we come to do this. I also just need to cut this and just put either a jumper cable in there. And I'm also going to put a lighting bus in here, so we can, so hopefully these will fit. Whether I want to stretch it as far as, you know, as tight as that under all those, but I think the lighting bus will go along here. Those are very short wires that I've done on one of them. So I'm going to fit another piece there. I'm also will put just a bus cable there, just for all the common points. I'm not going to get all the points wired up tonight. That's just going to be a very long job. So, but let's get the lighting bus wired. As you'll see, this tape has got like a corrugated edge to it, so I tend to cut that edge off, and then just cut it in half, because you don't need it as thick as that. You know, there's a lot of current could run up that. You don't. It's not necessarily for a lighting or even a DCC bus to have that much current. So let me get this cut and I'll see you very shortly. Right, I've got this cut into the sections I want for this first piece. So let's see if I can just get the backing off. There we go. What I have already pre-done is I've drilled holes into the supports there, so I have just put in the copper next to it. I can put the wires straight to the hole to join it to the next section of board. Now if you break this copper, you just solder it back up together. And also if you want to do it in smaller pieces, you know, in case one breaks, you can just put them over. Don't just stick the copper to the copper. You put a piece of solder over it and just solder them together. You know, it'll work much better. So, but one thing that I like to do is just make sure that I know which one I'm going to be using is positive. So it just makes it easier in the future. So let me now the point motor in the way of this one. Measure it to there. I'll do this one slightly more to the edge. Hopefully it's coming out on video. I will go through and hold the camera so you can actually see what I've been doing as well. Not made the straightest cut on this copper tape, but it's not an issue. And I think we're going to be too far away from those. Okay. Might just get the positive onto there, yeah. So when I come to do the negative one, what I'm going to do is just move this. Just so we've got a little bit more space for doing the wiring. Where did my other piece go there? to extend them. Maybe not. I think I'm still going to have to extend. Okay. That is a pity. I mean, you can just put another piece here and then just put some jumper wires across. So I might do that rather than extending those cables. And then if you want lights the other side, you know, you want to add more lights in, you can do. Obviously it's not making it as neat as I would like though. And the wires for they're very short, so you're going to have to extend those. So I've got no choice on that matter. Let me see if I can get the camera a little bit more close up. Okay, hopefully that's coming out a bit clearer. So I'm just going to connect these up through the board, through the supports. So what you always want to do is just tin your bus or your wires first. Now I've just measured a couple of pieces of wire that I want. Best use wire strippers if you've got them. If not, you can use just your cutters and sort of try and pull the cable, but with wire strippers it will leave a small piece like that you can just twist the wires. Makes it a really good twist on the cable there. So when you come to tin them, it's a lot easier, stops them splaying around. Where you burn your fingers. I know my soldering iron's not very good. I do need to buy another one. Probably cut these a little bit long actually, so which doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm going to continue just wiring the rest of the bus on here, and I'll see you shortly. Oh, I've got all the lighting circuit wired up now. Still need to tidy up a couple of the wires. So everything's got a resistor. I did actually run out of 1K resistors. So I had some 4K. I was going to use like two 1Ks to try and make sure the LEDs was quite dim on the inspection pit. So I've used two 4.5Ks. I'm hoping that they'll be fine, so that should have changed them to 2K. So I've still got to make sure that they will light up and they will be just bright enough so I can see them, but not too bright. Points still yet to be wired. I've spent about an hour just wiring up all the lighting circuit. The points obviously going to take a lot longer. I'm going to do that on another evening. So I'll give you a turn the layout back over and then let's test the lights. Now I'm just using a 9-volt battery, so this is the, hopefully everything will work. And yes, you have light. Let me turn the lights off in the room so you can see. I've got an extra. And you can see the pit. Looks a lot darker on the camera, so but, hopefully you can see all the lights are all in the buildings. You might be able to see some detail that's in that cabin. And we've got lights, and spotlights. So we'll be back on the next video and we'll start to look at the point wiring. Okay, I'll see you again then.